217 votes. So the next step will be for the entire House to meet, and Congressman Scalise would have to get 217 votes. What's that looking like at this point? Joining us now to talk about this and more, Congressman Kevin Hern. He serves on the House Ways and Means Committee and is the chairman of the Republican Study Caucus. He represents the 1st Congressional District of Oklahoma. Congressman Hern, welcome back to the program.
Great to have you, Tony. Great to be with you, Tony. It's been a busy day today, as you can probably imagine.
Well, I know it's been busy. You were considered, your name was tossed around for Speaker, and you made an announcement over the weekend that you wanted to see unity in the conference, and so you took your name out of contention and said, look, we've got these two good men, we need to get behind them. Did that happen this morning?
I think it did. I think it's a pathway to reuniting the party. I called some 200 members last week, almost 51 hours of straight phone calls up until Friday afternoon, and then all day Saturday and Sunday. And certainly been a part of these conversations as we move forward into the speaker race with Steve and Jim, good friends of mine and yours as well. But, we got to get forward on down the road here, get our conference back with leadership. And I think today, when you look at what Congressman Scalise did in getting the majority of the secret ballot and then moving forward to the floor for the 217 votes, he's doing what he has always done. He's working on bringing those few votes that are remaining that, have some questions about, should they support him or not. And he's working to get those done. And I think he's going to get those sooner rather than later. All of us are rallying around him now, which is what you'd like to see in our new leader so that we can move forward.
So walk us through the behind the scenes a little bit about today and what took place as Republicans gathered behind closed doors to talk this through. Was there a sense of the times in which we live that this is a very significant time? It's much different than what it was last week, given what happened over the weekend in Israel.
Yeah, I think what you're seeing certainly last week and leading up this entire year, quite honestly, is a very populist movement in the country, and that's certainly spilt over into the House of Representatives, the People's House. And so a lot of individual voices wanting to be heard, and they felt like they weren't being heard. So we saw what happened last week. We had a motion to vacate, the first time in American history that's ever been used to actually vacate the Speaker of the House. And so then we're sort of in disarray, quite honestly, about where we go forward. And Patrick McHenry did a great job, a phenomenal job of going into the unknown where there's no playbook and moving us over this past week to get to where we are and today. And then listening to all the members in the conference, wanting to look at possibly doing a rule change on how we elect our speaker out of the conference and take to the floor, knowing how important it is for the American government to show unity, to show that we're back in business, to get away from the chaos that we've been seeing for some, the past 7 or 8 days. And then what happened Saturday in Israel is just horrific. Our hearts and prayers go out to all the people in Israel who have lost people, who are still looking for their loved ones, and certainly the Americans that are there as well. And so now here we are. We're going to go to the floor, and we're going to get to 217 votes, and we're going to work hard to do it.
Are we going to see something similar to what we saw in January, or is this going to move more quickly through the process?
I think it's going to move more quickly because I think what you're going to see is we're going to know what the votes are. It's different set of interest, I believe, talking to Steve versus talking to Speaker McCarthy, former Speaker McCarthy, in the first week of the year about direction, because a lot of those rules are going to stay in place. Single issue appropriation bills, having open amendments. Those are a lot of the dialogue that happened the first week that won't be revisited. Those are going to be in place. And now it's just a few more cleaning up, if you will, of some of the policies that some of these members like to see. And I know the new speaker, the speaker-elect, is working on those right now.
Congressman, we only have about 30 seconds left. Congressman Hern, your name's being put out there for majority leader if Steve Scalise is elevated to speaker. I know you took your name out of contention for speaker, but would you consider serving as a majority leader?
I would, but first we got to get speaker, filled, the speaker seat filled with Steve, and that as soon as that happens, then his seat, the majority leader seat, which is like the chief operating officer of the conference, would come up. And the role is to support the leadership, the speakers, especially in the vision of the conference, going out and doing the heavy lifting of bringing people together, listening, finding solutions, setting the calendar so that we actually get the appropriation bills done on time. It's something I've done, keeping the trains on the track and on time for, literally decades, outside of Washington, D.C. Don't see that as something that I haven't been, the skill set that I've had for some 30 years. And so I look forward to the opportunity, and we're going to make sure we do everything we can to win that seat.
Well, I think you do a great job if your colleagues picked you to be the majority leader. Congressman Kevin Hern, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for the update.
Thanks, Tony.